Hey there, YouTube. Welcome to my Beard Wisdom. So, real quick, I wanted to kind of talk about the editing studio. And basically, this is my home office. So, I've got a little desk here. You can see, got the GoPro, got little Captain America for, moral support. I've got the same laptop that I've used for quite a long time. This one's pretty old, and it's a really small laptop as far as the hard drive goes. So not a whole lot of memory. So I've got a couple different external hard drives to kind of drive everything. And then I've got a monitor that I've had since probably 2012. It's in like an old 27-inch Samsung. So still working, which is great for me. But it's kind of one of those things where every video that I do, I essentially have to delete it off of this computer as soon as I make it and then go ahead and upload the new stuff. That way there's room. So there's really a lot of limited space.
So, if you think about doing a YouTube channel, it's kind of one of those things you don't need a whole lot when it comes to a computer. You don't need a big beastly computer and stuff like that. Having one that's like kind of quick is kind of nice. So this one has a 2.73 gigahertz CPU, and so it's not super fast. At the time, this was a 7th gen Core i7, so it was pretty quick. And then this computer was the cheapest way to get that i7 CPU. And then memory wise, I went with 16 gigs of RAM. So RAM's kind of your random access memory. It's the memory that kind of quickly uses. And then you've got actual hard drive space, which your hard drive space, this one's pretty small at 128 gigs. So really it's probably only about 110 usable gigs. And when you make a video, you're probably using at least 20 to maybe 30 gigs depending on the definition of the video. So there's a fair amount of space that I'm constantly using and then dumping. But you can see this one using about 93% of the CPU, which I would expect it to be pretty close to 100% when it's making a video. And you can kind of see that when it started making the video, it the RAM usage jumped way up. So this is only at 7.2, so not really high usage. You can see some of it's pulling off the solid state hard drive. Meanwhile, someone's pulling off the USBs and stuff like that. So now once we get a little bit farther into it, the CPU's at 100% running and at 8.2 gigs of RAM that's using, so still only about half the gigs of RAM. But I would expect that CPU to be running, more or less full force trying to get everything done, hopefully as fast as possible for me. Otherwise, you're wondering why did I get such a big CPU if it's not running super fast or running at 100%. So and then this one here, the video is actually starting to be done producing, and its memory jumps up a bit because I went into Canva and actually made a thumbnail on Canva's website and stuff in order to, post the video. That way it's got that. You can kind of see now it's using a whole bunch more of the USB disk because everything that I do winds up going to that external to kind of try and save some memory on the main drive. On the main drive, though, that's where it saves the little building blocks that go into each video. So if you have 5, 6, 7 mini videos that go in to make one thing of video, then that's essentially where that is. So this is each video footage snippet, more or less. So, and then that saves to the main computer part, and that's what I want to deleting out every time. And essentially what I did was we went to HP.com, and right around Black Friday, they always have really good deals. They have deals pretty much all year long. So this is currently tail end of January of 2023. And then we're just going to go to shop and then hpstore.com. And you can kind of see here, they currently have a winter savings event going on. So save 59% on select items, free priority shipping on stuff. And then you can click shop there. Otherwise, you can choose different things in here. So I'm just going to go shop. And we were looking for something that wasn't a laptop because I already have this laptop. And then this laptop's initial purpose was to program and flash and tune cars. So it was meant to be a smaller, cheaper one and stuff, not meant to be something that, should I drop it, I really cared a whole lot. But So we went with desktops, and you can kind of see here they have their little ads and stuff like that. So this one creates seamlessly, save 450 bucks. This true to life visuals save 470. So if this is an actual HP Envy desktop, you can see save 450 off of their price. Same thing over here. This one's saved 470. You're looking at about, 1500. This is about 850. And then both of these have customizable. The customizable is really cool because it opens up another menu and you can build it how you want it in some ways, like whatever they can actually put into it. So it makes it really, really interesting. You can put a different things on there, and then depending on almost seemingly the day, there might be a sale on RAM in the customizable side. There might be a sale on certain graphics cards. There might be a sale on certain things. So it's really interesting. And if you're looking at buying one, I definitely investigate HP's website because you can get some pretty interesting deals. And then they've got this HP product specialist. I use that to ask some questions just about, upgrading things. But I'm going to close that, get it out of the way. And they've got quite a few different things. So not only do they have just the standard desktops, they also have the all-in-ones. What we want to go in with is something kind of like this Omen HP 25L. Not this one exactly. And the one we had was customizable. This one here, not customizable. So you get getting basically what they have here. So the Windows 11, the AMD Ryzen 7 processor, AMD Ryzen RX 670 XT graphics card, 16 gigs of memory. So that's 16 gigs of RAM. So same amount of RAM as what I currently have on the laptop. So something like this, not where I'd want to be, but sometimes when you purchase these, you can still upgrade these. This comes with 1 terabyte spinny hard drive. So the one where you've got a spinning disk in it. And then a 516 gigabyte solid state storage. So you think about it, that's like 4 times the size of my laptop with this solid state storage, let alone factoring in the extra terabyte. That's huge. But they've got different deals at different times. So definitely, if you're looking at a computer, check them out. And then I always cross compare prices against, Best Buy, other sites and stuff like that. That way you're like, okay, cool, yep, this is definitely a good deal, or man, this is maybe not such a great deal. And they also have deals and sales on other components, which is what we wound up doing, is we also picked up a couple other things that you can kind of see here. They have monitors as well as bundles. And then in the top deals, you can kind of see the top things you're able to save on.
So essentially, here's the second editing studio, which is like the workout room slash dining room slash storage area. But basically we took an old desk that we had just kind of sitting, hanging out, and we repurposed it in here from its original purpose of just kind of holding up clothes, I guess, and helping to organize some of the mess we have in here. And there's a little bit of an echo, so I don't know how much that's going to carry over, but we went with a cheap Logitech mouse and keyboard, the wireless setup. That way, should someone get squirrely and want to be doing something on the elliptical, they can do that on the computer too. So we bought a headset, the HyperX Cloud 2. At the same time we bought the computer. And this computer is an Omen. And you almost can't see it, but it says 25L down there. It's spec'd out pretty decent. So there's the GeForce RTX graphics card. It's got a solid state drive as well as a spinny hard drive. And then a fair amount of RAM. Then we also picked up an HP U28 4K HDR monitor. So it's a 28-inch monitor, a little bit bigger. And as you can see, it's kind of set up with teeny tiny little baby icons. So to talk specs a little bit on this, the processor's a 12th gen Intel Core i7. So on the laptop upstairs, that was a 7th gen i7. So they've come leaps and bounds above as far as speed goes. So this should be pretty quick. It's still a 64-bit system. This runs Windows 11, which my little bit of experience I've had with it so far, I don't like it. Seems like every time Windows updates, I miss the old version of Windows. But I've got 32 gigs of RAM, which I think those little RAM cards right there, the two little vertical lines, I think that's the RAM. Those were actually cheaper to get the lit ones. They were on sale for some reason versus getting the normal ones without the coloring. So I wonder if they just had a whole bunch of colored ones that no one was picking up. So if I turn the phone's light on, you can see in there a little bit better. A little weird that there's this like connector just free floating here, but I think that allows for expansion later. And that's the key thing with this, is that we can build this up better later should we run into issues where with that, like that laptop, you're probably limited to the amount of space you can get in there. But we already know this has double the RAM of the laptop. It also has way more memory. So the laptop only had a 128 gig hard drive. So that's pretty small. If you think in terms of your phone, it's probably smaller than the phone that you have. So this computer has a solid state drive for like the main processing stuff. That's a terabyte in size. And then a 2 terabyte spinny hard drive, which would be that one with a fan on it. So pretty interesting. I've never had one that you can actually see inside of. Kind of weird, but it should be pretty handy with the boys as far as, you know, them being kind of sheddy. We should be able to see any dog hair and dust that gets into places that we don't want dog hair and dust going. And then speaking of the boys, the big reason for this upgrade is that we'll be starting a new channel dedicated to dogs, basically, and our experiences so far with the two and how they're doing. And also maybe doing reviews, maybe doing funny videos. But I always kind of like having a spot for their videos. For this channel and Big Mike Beard Wisdom, they'll still make little appearances from time to time. I'll probably still post some of the funny little videos they do. But it'll be one of those things where I'm going to niche it down. That way they have their own kind of directed channel. And hopefully that one, you know, doesn't confuse anybody by like, is this a dog channel? Is this a car repair channel? Is this a home repair channel? Does he do lawn work? What else does this guy do? This wound up being fairly expensive and kind of one of those things where it's an investment in the future and really kind of upgrading to a hopefully higher quality set of videos and stuff moving forward. Now I'm pretty sure I'm going to miss the dual screen kind of setup, but that other monitor being 28 inches, it's almost like 2 monitors size. So it'll be really interesting to see how things went up going. Eventually I'll end up moving like the main channel stuff downstairs, but in the meantime, we're going to be editing videos down there for the dogs channel, and hopefully I'm bringing someone in to help me out with it. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll check you next time.